Good day everyone, I am Nova Peter Campo and I am first year BE Ed 1G. Today, I will discuss about Cavite Mutiny and their issues and my arguments. Cavite Mutiny, January 20, 1872. Brief uprising of 200 Filipino troops and workers at the Cavite Arsenal, which became the excuse for Spanish repression of the embryonic Philippine nationalist movement. Ironically, the harsh reaction of the Spanish authorities served ultimately to promote the nationalist cause. The mutiny was quickly crushed, but the Spanish regime, under the reactionary Governor Rafael de Izquierdo, magnified the incident and used it as an excuse to clamp down on those Filipinos who had been calling for a governmental reform. A number of Filipino intellectuals were seized and accused of complicity with the mutineers. After a brief trial, their priest Jose Burgos, Jacinto Zamora, and Mariano Gomez were publicly executed. The three subsequently became martyrs to the cause of Philippines' independence. 1872 Cavite Mutiny was one of the most important events in the history. This both as these objectives. To understand why 1872 Cavite Mutiny happened, to know who technically instigated the said event, and to corroborate that the three secular priests were not implicated and conspired to mutiny. 1872 Cavite Mutiny could have been avoided if Cavite workers were not deprived of their privileges to non-payment of tributes and forced labor. Textbook accounts of the 1872 revolt in Cavite generally see it as a mutiny of Filipino soldiers and armory workers over local grievances, often portraying it as instigated by the friars with the intention of eliminating the priest and lawyer, agitating for reforms. Because of Cavite Mutiny, the sacrifice of Gomborza happened. The next thing we know, the country had awakened to its national identity. With the likes of Jose Rizal and his peers knowing the abuses and the unfair treatment of the Filipino natives in their own backyard, the mutiny had shaped the country's history greatly, and it awakened its determination for self-rule. The main argument of Cavite Mutiny for me is an aim of natives to get rid of the Spanish government in the Philippines due to the removal of privileges enjoyed by the laborers of the country arsenal, such as exemption from the tribute and forced labor. And some arguments from me is Spanish perspective. The reports of Vidal and Izquierdo both implicated that the rebellion was an attempt to overthrow the Spanish government. In particular, Izquierdo reports that the Filipino clergy is behind the mutiny to rally secularization conspiracy of native priests to replace the Spanish friars. This is what I choose the arguments based on what I discussed. And I thank you.